דודי, לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, נקבלה. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום ומבורך. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום ומבורך. ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם. הללויה, הללויה, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Welcome.
Shalom.
Can you believe it's Memorial Day weekend already?
I know. People keep asking me about, well, what are your plans in a couple of weeks for Memorial Day weekend? And I keep saying, no, it's
I'm thinking it's next weekend, but now apparently it's this weekend.
It's this weekend.
I wonder how we all try to reimagine Memorial Day weekend this year.
Yes.
I mean, I just realized a few days ago that it's Memorial Day weekend.
Right. Well, and many of you know we have a big do every year, or have done for the past 10 years,
and I've been there,
11
yes.
years, yeah. And we have people come in from all over the United States.
So are you doing carry out?
Probably so, yeah. I think
Can we stop by?
going to clean out our garage. We're going to take this opportunity to do some work around the house, which is not very vacation-y, I suppose. But that's how...
So you're not going to reimagine the barbecue party? Oh.
No. Someone asked me if we were going to do a virtual one, and I said, are you kidding me? I spend half my life on Zoom and Facebook Live.
Yeah, I don't know if for me it's reimagining Memorial Day weekend, but because I've been going to your party, I'm going to have to reimagine now what am I going to do on Memorial Day weekend. Well, I'm going to have to grill. I do have a new tank, a full tank. So.
That's perfect.
So, and it's going to be a beautiful day. So.
Well, maybe we will grill something as well. We don't. None of our people are close enough to do graveside visits. Right. So even that's not something that we normally do. So that's not something that got canceled for us this year. But maybe we'll grill.
Well, if you like to share how you are reimagining your Memorial Day weekend this year, while we do some housekeeping and announcements, not announcements, but housekeeping mostly, please let us know. We are coming to you, as you can see, from our beautiful sanctuary. Our building is closed to the public until further notice. Links to our Siddur can be found in the Facebook event for this service, and the links for the Mishaberach and the Kaddish list are included in the e-news that you received this morning. Important information will appear in the comments during the service, Thanks to Dave Zucker and Riley Hendricksy for managing our stream. We have some extra information about that.
We do.
Leslie, will you tell us about?
I had a congregant reach out to me, as we have asked folks to do throughout the week on our regular hours, and we've been asking you to express your opinions about the sound through Facebook Messenger, and I didn't know that it's not as easy to get to as one might assume, because we are not watching these live. We're on this side of the camera. So as always, if you have a non-urgent comment in general about the sound or the technology, email us, Facebook message us, and we will get back to you during the week. If you have an urgent and immediate need, you have two options. One, if you look up at the top, there is a message button up there, and you can message. And I believe Riley is going to post a picture of that. I took a picture and circled it. And the other option is Riley, our digital docent, is sharing her phone number. In the comments, you can text her directly. Please try to keep that to just your immediate needs, because she is trying to help a lot of people. But that way, you have a way that you can go ahead and reach out to someone with an immediate need for your technology, and then we can keep the comment space for community and fellowship and Shabbat-y fun stuff.
And let's take this opportunity also. We are thinking about high holidays already. I know most of you are not, but we are.
Yes, we are.
And so we may be needing more digital docents coming up. So if you're interested in that and you feel that you have the ability and the desire, we would like to invite you to do that, and we'll put together a whole team of people that will be doing what Riley's doing for Shabbat for high holidays. So we appreciate that.
Ushering in the digital age of the high holidays.
Yes.
Oh.
So we may need some digital ushers as well, in addition to our digital docents. So there'll be lots of opportunities to volunteer this year in the virtual world. So start thinking about it. If you are watching and say hello, you haven't done so already, type Shabbat Shalom in the comments line and click return. Just a reminder about our page numbers. We have two sets. We're calling the numbers in the square brackets. Our service will begin in just a moment with Shabbat service Roman numeral number 2 in your Mishkan Tefillah. The pages are at the bottom corners of the image. And again, as a reminder to everybody, to keep your comments during the streaming of the service to Shabbat-worthy topics. We are working hard to bring holiness into your homes at this time. So we ask you to refrain from texting the staff of volunteers, except for what we just said about Riley. And we suggest that you take notes and put them on an email and send them to us during the week. Thank you so much for helping us make this streaming better every week. So we together welcome Shabbat. It is our tradition at Beth Torah to light Shabbat candles in the Ulam before services. And so in honor of that tradition, we've now started to begin our time together on Shabbat by lighting candles together. If you have candles at home, please light them now, and we'll recite the blessings together in just a moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav b'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, a psalm, a song for Shabbat, on page 140.
טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. On this the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you'll always be here surrounding me. Tov leodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. My spirit takes release, I close my eyes in peace, and from my soul heard far above springs a song of love. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון.
Page 138, we will join together in singing Lecha Dodi. We're singing the stanzas in numbered odds. So
Yes.
1, 3, 5, 7, and 9.
Odd.
Odd numbers.
Love them.
דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
שמעו וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המלחן אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, השם אותי ברד ולי תהילה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה ומצאי מתוך האפך, רב לך שבט בעמק עמך והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בא קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהיך תמסוס חתן על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובסתולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני Shabbat nekabela.
Our service will continue on page 266, page 266. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world. In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Emet. On page 271, we join together as we offer our prayer for rest and peace in the wonderful evening we're having here. I think it's beautiful outside. Oh, I get to see our windows right here.
Oh, right, that's off. You all can't see that it's lovely.
Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety, and in your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Baruch atah Adonai apore sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai apore sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai apore sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Israel.
On page 273, we will begin our Amidah together, the Tfilah, the prayer that each of us recites on this Shabbat as we gather together. We're doing this slightly different than we would do when we are here physically together. We are spending a few moments of silent meditation. You may choose to use the prayers on our Siddur through page 285. And also take this time to spend it with your family, offering prayers together. So we invite you to begin on page 273. I usually stand for this, and you can do the same at home, but it's really what feels right for you on this Shabbat that we are together.
Stand and pray to the one. Step forward, let the blessings be sung. With my brothers and my sisters, I will open up my lips and praise. Adonai, please open my heart that I may say, Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehillah Techa. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehillah Techa.
we gather on this Shabbat, we offer a prayer for those in need of healing. You may have access to the Misheberach list through the e-news that you received earlier today. If you like to offer names, please do so by adding the names on the comments on our page. Click enter. Please go ahead and type the names.
Misheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Uyevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim.
And as we gather names of those in need of healing, we also think of those who help in healing, the first responders all over the world that are dealing day in and day out with people who are suffering from COVID-19 and all the things that imply. May the one who blessed and led our forebears give countenance unto those who provide help for the ill and troubled among us. May they be filled with fortitude and courage, endowed with sympathy and compassion, as they give strength to those at their side. May they fight against despair and continue to find within themselves the will to reach out to those in need. And in their love of others, may they feel the blessing of community and the blessing of renewed faith. It is time now for our Simcha moment, special Misheberach for all those who have a special Simcha, a joy from this past week, which may include birthday, anniversary, good news, and accomplishments of all and any kind. Please use the comment lines, just a few words, and click enter. And I have one anniversary to share today.
What is that?
So, in 1993, today in the Hebrew calendar is a minor holiday celebration. Some people don't know about it. It's called Yom Yerushalayim. It's a day that celebrates the reunification of Jerusalem during the Six-Day War in 1967.
Wow.
And that's not something the Reform movement really celebrates, but on 1993, on Yom Yerushalayim, I was doing my interviews to rabbinical school in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow.
And I was surprised that nobody, we had actually kind of marked Yom Yerushalayim in Argentina, but nobody even said a word. But I remember it was Yom Yerushalayim, so every time Yom Yerushalayim comes around, I remember Jerusalem, but I also remember that I was that day admitted to rabbinical school.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Because I came from far away, so they made a decision right on the spot. So I got in. So that's my celebration.
And the rest is our history.
The rest is history.
We're so happy that you did that.
Thank you. So we are getting very close to the end of the Omer. Actually, today is the last Shabbat that we'll share words about counting the Omer.
Oh, that's right.
Because
wow.
This coming week before next Shabbat is going to be Shavuot and will be the end. So today's the 29th of Iyar, because we count a day ahead. So as the sun sets, will be the 29th, this Shabbat, and it's the 44th day of the Omer. This last week, the theme in the book that we're using by Rabbi Keren Kedar called Omer Accounting, the theme is prayer. And these are words by Rabbi Kedar. She wrote this piece. Sometimes my response to prayer is simply no, though no is never truly simple.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes it is a foot-tapping impatience or a stubborn resistance. Then there are times when I pray that the most honest response I can muster is an angry fist shaking wildly at the heavens. And sometimes my response to prayer is an audible, discernible, from the gut sigh. And then sometimes the Spirit of God is upon me, and there in silence all around, and I feel the vibrations of other people's supplication in my very being. During those precious moments, my response is to their prayers, and it is a simple nod and a shrug of the shoulders at the mystery of life. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Praise be you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, instilling within us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us the counting of the Omer. Today is the 44th day, 6 weeks and 2 days of the Omer.
I think I'm going to have to get this book for myself next year. It is just wonderful.
It's a book, and it comes with cards that you can carry around every day.
I saw that on Instagram.
Yes.
One of the Jewish groups that I follow posted a picture of that. I was
I
wondering
have
if
the
it was
cards,
the same
I just
one.
don't know where they are.
Yeah.
But I'll find them next year. I'll find the cards, and we'll have the cards.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I kept meaning to ask you, is that the same book that goes with the...
Yes.
Definitely
All
getting it for
available
next
from
year.
the CCAR Press.
Wow.
Our CCAR. So. Maybe we'll find the link this week, and we'll put it.
Oh, that would be nice, yeah.
Or maybe somebody else has already found it. We have a few tech people out there who I'm sure they already found the link, and it's already in the comments line. I wouldn't be surprised. Thank you for sharing all those simchas and for joining me on my anniversary. We now gather the words that we have shared and offer a prayer. Divine source of blessings, we thank you for everything that enriches our lives. We turn to you now with gratitude as we share in the happiness of all of us who have come forward to mark our birthdays, anniversaries, good news, and accomplishments. Adonai, be with us now and always. May we be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. And as we honor each one of you for the gifts that you bring to our sacred virtual community, we join together in song as we mark this sacred occasion. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. On this Shabbat, we are leaving the book of Leviticus, and we are starting a new book called B'Midbar in Hebrew, in the wilderness. So we are leaving Leviticus, but we're going right into the wilderness. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but it's coming. And this book in Hebrew is called B'Midbar, which is one of the first words that are meaningful at the beginning of the book. And in English it's called Numbers because it contains lots of censuses, and there's a census at the very beginning. This first Torah portion is also called B'Midbar, and I'm going to not talk at all about the census because tomorrow morning we have a bar mitzvah who is going to talk about that. So we're going to leave chapter 1 for him. But chapter 2 also talks about numbers, and these are the numbers of the tribes and the way that they were supposed to be assembled when they got to a place and it was time to do a camp. And on verse 2 of chapter 2, we read, Ish al diglo ve'otot leveit avotam. The Israelites shall camp each with his standard, diglo, under the banners of their ancestral house, ve'otot leveit avotam, and they shall camp around the tent of meeting at a distance. Mineged saviv le'ohel moed. And there are many interpretations of the word mineged saviv, because mineged means facing or in opposition to, and saviv means around. One thing is clear: if I had a map or a diagram, again, maybe some of you can dig one up on the internet as I'm talking. The tent of meeting will be in the middle, and the encampments will be all around.
Sure, like a target.
Right, something like that. So the Etz Chaim commentary puts it this way, very short statement. The key to the physical deployment of the Israelites as they camped and as they marched was the setting of the Ohel Moed, of the tent of meeting at the center of the camp. Every individual Israelite was located in relation to the Ohel Moed. Every individual Israelite was located in relation to the Ohel Moed, to the tent of meeting. In other words, the position of each individual was defined in relational terms. Ego relational Judaism didn't start last few years ago. It started at the encampment. How they relate physically to the Ohel Moed, to the tent of meeting, which in turn would determine how the various tribes were arranged in the camp and how each person was placed next to each other. The general idea was that the first thing that you would see in the morning when you come out of your tent, you emerge and you were mineged, so you were sort of facing the Ohel Moed. So it's the first thing you will see. You will see the tent of meeting. It was the physical manifestation of the spiritual idea that God resides betocham, amongst them, in their midst. Everything revolved around God, literally. Everything was, we would say today, in relationship. If we dig a little deeper into this verse, we may find other relationships. Some commentators suggest that each of the three types of relationships defines us who we are, and they could be found in this particular verse. And those three basic relationships help us define our identity. And they are tied to the relationship to self, the relationship to family, and the relationship to community. And I wonder how these three basic relationships have changed, perhaps evolved in this time of pandemic. I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm going to give you some teachings from the Torah that may help us navigate through that. I think they have changed, but everything changes. That's part of life. But do they change for good? Do they evolve? Do they become something that were not before and they're better? So the first one, it's based on the preposition and the words al diglo, meaning under the standard.
Okay.
Al diglo, which refers to the self. A great part of who we are as individuals is shaped by how we see ourselves. I would imagine that for some of us who may have thought that we would have some downtime to reflect of about how much we love or should love ourselves. This might be a good time to do that during the pandemic. And because of how we were all thrusted, basically, into this lockdown, I have found that it has not been as easy as I thought to experience this lockdown. I thought maybe it was going to be something like a long vacation. And all those books I thought I would now have time to read and absorb, they're still unread.
That makes me feel so much better.
Because like so many, I have found myself playing catch up with technology, not only how to use it myself. I thought I was pretty good at that, as a consumer, but also catching up to how to help others use it and their frustrations derive from that. We are zoomed out, and I think I'm unanimous in this, as somebody that I watch on TV likes to say. So now more than ever, we need to make an effort to do some serious self-care before really we try to take care of others. So to me, this new way of looking at my own standard is how do I keep it up as I move into this new, maybe new normal, we don't know. Number 2 is the relationship that comes to mind when we talk about the words ve'otot leveit avotam, under the banners. So you had the standard is the self, and now the banners seem to be a little bigger. So now this is a relationship that refers to our family, both biological and I would say adopted too, for sure. This relationship is essential to who we are as individuals. Our families have shaped who we are at an early age. Some of us, lucky ones, have embraced it, while others have tried to free themselves from relationships who might have tied us down or in some cases even hurt us. In this new time we are all living, the pandemic has brought out the best in people and, sadly, the worst too. Each of us has a unique relationship to our families, and I pray that each of us can find a way to bring the best out now and, of course, in the months ahead.
Yes, amen to that.
And number 3 is the relationships around the tent of meeting, mineged saviv le'ohel moed. And this refers to our relationship to our community, which I think we'd all agree is the one relationship that has been impacted the most in the last few months because of the social distancing. That's pretty clear. And I am choosing my words carefully here because our relationship to our community, unlike what some may expect, has not suffered or vanished. On the contrary, we have found new ways to connect. We have added people to our virtual community who, even if our building were open, could not join us for Shabbat. Some are homebound or live far away from our congregation to come regularly. And even some others live halfway across the country or the world. The Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting, has a very long history because it has changed as the Jewish people continued the travels through history. From a tent in the desert to a magnificent temple in Jerusalem to synagogues across the world to now our new virtual meeting places in various platforms. Our tent of meeting has evolved yet again. And our challenge is to continue making it our community, giving it what we can, so that it will become once again the community we need. The community that nurtures us on this and many more Shabbatot and Jewish festivals to come. So here's our virtual Ohel Moed, and that is what makes community for us.
Yes.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
We continue now on page 593. We take a few moments as we prepare for our moment of remembrance to read one of the meditations silently. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirit of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. On this Shabbat, we are observing the Shiva for Nancy Jonas Wilson, a member of our congregation. We're observing the Shloshim period for Bernard Barney Barrage, also a member of our congregation. Ruth Sainz, mother and mother-in-law of Howard and Gloria Pittler. Mel Solomon. Kim Gray Moss, cousin of Chris Gray. Daniel Rutman, brother and brother-in-law of Maggie and Steve Cooper. And Pam Smith, loved one of Julie Kaplan. And on this Shabbat, we remember the following yortzites of members of our congregation: Jason Arkin, Marjorie Bon Cohen, Evelyn Lakowski, Ethel Firestone, Gay Franklin, Beatrice Glazer, Sol Gould, Morris Greenwald, George Hershey, Brett Kahn, Rose Kaufman, Morris Klutznick, Irving Lampert, Milton Irving Mann, Bernard Mishkin, Norman Reisman, Irving Rosenberg, Delvin Rothman, Melvin Silverman, Viola May Watt Worthington. Zichronam Livracha, may the memories be for a blessing. If you join in us and are also remembering loved ones that we have not mentioned, please feel free to add their names to our comment line. And as we think of them, we take them all into our hearts with our own, and we rise on page 598 as we recite together Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah בעלמה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דא אמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. A few announcements before we conclude. Together we'll be singing Adon Olam on page 625. But first, I'd like to thank everybody who joined us from our area and from around the world. Thank Leslie Zucker for joining us, beautiful music, and Dave Zucker and Riley Hendricksy for managing our comments. We will be back here at 10:30 for our morning service, but it's going to be on Zoom, and the link to the Zoom meeting was included in the e-news that you received this morning. It is a bar mitzvah, and it's different. We will not, I repeat, we will not post the Zoom link on Facebook or send it out as emails during Shabbat. So if you didn't get it this morning, unfortunately, you may not be able to join. You will not be able to join us tomorrow morning if you're just joining us on Facebook today. But the same will be with our Sichat Shabbat. Is only on Zoom. We do have a link on the event, but both cases, if you would like to always receive all our communications, make sure that you subscribe to our e-news. And if you subscribe and you don't see it, maybe check your spam folder. It may be there. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. is our Sichat Shabbat, our Torah study class, and we'll be here as well. Couple more things I think we have, Leslie.
Yes, I have a couple of things. First, for those of you who come to, well, for everybody, the song session is not going to be on Wednesday night this coming week. We are joining forces to do Erev Shavuot service and a little bit of a song session, which is just basically an Erev Shavuot service with a little more song in it. But we're going to put those together Thursday night, 6:15 p.m., on our Facebook Live page. And then we encourage you to register to go study. The URJ is putting together a study session for later on in the evening, all night Shavuot. If you go to the Shavuot event on our Facebook page, the link is also there to register for those seminars, webinars, whatever you want to call them. They look like fun. So I encourage you to do that. Also want to remind you that next Friday, our Shabbat service, we are honoring our graduates. So you'll definitely want to come and hear the names of all our 2020 graduates. It's so exciting. I'm so glad we're doing that. So I think that's it. And all of this is in the e-news, you said, as well?
So you'll get on the e-news next Friday. So
on Friday morning, right. So those things, the Erev Shavuot, you need to know now, because next Friday will be too late. But all of the Shabbat information will come out in the e-news again.
Mm-hmm. So please check us out on Facebook and like our page and leave us our comments about this service and other virtual events. And if you have more to say, you can also email us. Page 625, we sing together Adon Olam. Have a Shabbat Shalom and stay healthy and safe, everybody out there.
Adon Olam Hashem Allah
בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. בידו אף כי רוחי, בעת תשען בהעירה, ואם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא, אדוני לי ולא יירא. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Love you guys. See you soon.